Hi Sagittarius, welcome to your week ahead taroscope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit that subscribe button. If you are already a continued subby, you know I love you for it. With that said, if you haven't seen it yet, I recently did a webinar with Heather from Astrology with Heather. It is a 5-6 year overview of the next 5 to 6 years. Astrology, tarot, numerology, we delve into all of it and we are looking at all of the trends and themes that are coming up. If you have big plans for the next 5 years, you definitely do not want to miss this. And you can get the replay. So as I said, there's link is in the description box below, and it's a donations based webinar. So you can pay whatever you like or whatever you can afford. It's just important that you get this information. With that said, I would like to bless my deck of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity, and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So this week, for your key to the week, your overarching energy is the Devil card. What is it this week that you are refusing to let go of? There might be a specific point. There might be, maybe there's something that you feel really strongly attached to or really viscerally attached to. This week, you need to be prepared to ask yourself, where am I getting in my own way? Where is it that I am tied to either a specific outcome or a specific outlook that is no longer beneficial for me or is actually harming me in some way, shape or form? Remember, the Devil card is about our patterns and our cycles. It's about our addictions. It can be about sometimes the harsher or darker aspects of our psyche, and sometimes this reveals to us what it is or where it is that we are refusing effectively to get ahead, where it is that we are self-sabotaging in some way, shape or form. So ask yourself this week, what is it that I'm too attached to that I know in the depths of who I am, that some part of me knows this is no good for me? For your actions and options, you have the Lovers card, right? So look at that. I mean, that's really interesting. If you haven't seen it, I'm obviously bouncing around the tutorials, but if you haven't seen the video that I put out about the astrology and the tarot and the links that are there, I actually talked about the Lovers card and how its direct opposite is the Devil. So really, really interesting that this would come up, because this is in your actions and options, right? This is about you making a choice this week. It's about you really starting to understand maybe some of the connections that you have and how beneficial or destructive they are for you. This is about you really starting to choose now the friends, the associations, it's about you really starting to study the makeup of the support network that you have. And because the thing is, sometimes the group that we are attached to in the here and now isn't necessarily the group that we need to be attached to in the future that's to come. Sometimes the coping mechanisms and the methods that we use to get through certain situations, they save us, right? They get us to a certain point, but we can't rely on them for the rest of our lives because they work for who we were, not for who we are or where it is that we want to go. For your communications and conversations, you have the Hermit card, right? So this falls right underneath the Devil and it comes off the back of the Lovers card. This week you could really be feeling it might be a bit of a lonely one, right? This could be your communications or what it is that you're saying, what it is that you're trying to share with the world, maybe with your own support network or your own group or surroundings. It could be falling on deaf ears, and it may be stuff that you're saying that is isolating you, that is separating you from your people, from your peers, from your colleagues. It's not always a bad thing, but sometimes you need to ask yourself, if everybody is distancing themselves from you because of what you're talking about, maybe there's something about it that isn't quite as on point as you might think it is, or maybe the way that you're delivering the information that you're trying to get across to people is falling on deaf ears because the way that you're trying to package it doesn't necessarily resonate with them. Now, that's not to say that, you're talking a load of waffle or there's nothing that you're saying that is true. It just suggests, because you've got the Lovers card as well, that some of your decisions you appear to be trying to enforce onto others. and it looks like in some way, shape or form, maybe you've forgotten where it is that maybe you've forgotten maybe you've fallen out of love with the service that you're offering, or the way that you are offering it. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's something about it this week that really needs to be looked at. So think about how you're coming across to people. It's not about censoring yourself or editing yourself, but it is about taking out the stuff that is no longer really you. And, if the stuff that is coming back is that nobody resonates with it, ask yourself, do I even resonate with it anymore? Or am I just holding on to that idea or that belief because it's part of what got me to this point? For your money and materials, you have the Knight of Wands, all right? So this could be a good week for money, but it could also be a week where you are frivolous with the spending, because it's right underneath the Lovers card. You could be a bit more about substance than, but you could be a bit more about style than substance this week. Maybe you're taken in by the glamour of something. Maybe, you're like, well, it looks expensive, so I'm sure it's going to do the job. No, most of the time you guys really aren't like that. But this week, you could be so enamored with the idea of something that you kind of don't really look beyond to the small print. So just keep an eye on that. When it comes to your physical health and vitality, this is a week to look after your hips and your thighs, like all that general kind of area, stuff that is kind of very Sagittarian, right? And funnily enough, this card for me, out of all of the court cards, is that Sagittarius energy, right? It very much has that energy signature for me. And then for your home and environment, things could be very restless this week. But the good thing is, for those of you that are partnered, there could be lots of make-up, breakup sex. Just calling it like I see it. So it's, it's definitely a possibility. For your love and relations, you have the Two of Pentacles. So there does appear to be some compromises that need to be made. For those of you that are partnered in relationships, it does feel like you guys are not at odds with each other. It's just that there's something in specific that you are disagreeing about. And because, you've got the Knight of Wands there, you're really passionate about this. It's kind of like, you're like, well, you know what? I feel strongly about this, right? And so therefore you're not really willing to be budged. But the Two of Pentacles, this is about juggling, right? It's about finding a way to bring those things together. When you think about the card that represents you guys, it's the Temperance card. So the question that's being asked here, right, certainly with the Two of Pentacles, is what about your viewpoint could be adjusted, and what about their viewpoint could be adjusted? Because somewhere in the middle of that, you're going to find the answer. The other thing with the Two of Pentacles as well, it does look like, because it's underneath the Hermit, it looks like maybe you're not being as objective, or maybe as maybe you're being a bit more emotional than you think you are this week. It kind of feels like you might be feeling, well, like, no, I'm completely rationally detached, and actually you're not. Right? For those of you that are single, this could be a great week where you are meeting somebody that is older, somebody that is well-traveled, somebody that is highly sexed. This could be where you are connecting with somebody that is maybe a bit here and a little bit there, right? You've maybe got lots of fingers in lots of pies, or maybe somebody that's just a little bit crafty, but the connection is there regardless, right? There's this very sort of heightened sexual, funny kind of energy that's, really practical, but also really like, this shouldn't work, but it does, whatever, come here and kiss me. It's that kind of like, it's just, I can't really describe what I'm feeling any better than that, but I think you'll get it when you inadvertently bump into this person. Trust me, you will know. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.